What's going on, everybody? John Graves, kayak fishing here. We are working on an H. Leonard fly rod. This thing is old as the hills in Kentucky. The hills might be a little bit older, but this is old. This is over like 90 years old, almost 100 years old. Can you imagine that? This particular H. Leonard fly rod is considered a pre-fire. I had the gentleman who dropped this off to me for repair mention that to me, and that's pretty much the information that I know. But apparently there was a big fire, and many of these fine rods and all the equipment to make them was destroyed in the fire. Now, H. Leonard, I do believe, actually still exists as a company. I'm not sure, but they do have some pretty current fly rods, and I imagine that they still are in business. I think some of the latest fly rods they had were going for around $3,000, $2,000, $1,500 here and there. Maybe a little less, maybe a little more. What's going on, everybody? Hope you are doing good today, man. Getting into rod building really isn't that much of a act past 5th grade art, to be honest with you. It's relatively simple. Now, when you get into some of the more creative custom types of rod building, that's where the talent and comes out of the creativity and all that kind of stuff. But to make a general fishing rod is pretty easy. If I can do it, you can do it, trust me. And a good way to start is to check out mudhole.com. And if anything, you can actually learn how to really repair your own rods so that you don't either have to go buy a new one or you don't have to take it to somebody to repair. It's relatively easy to do. Just takes a little time, a little patience to do it right. But right now what we're doing is just refurbishing a very old bamboo rod here and really doing it in a pretty much a traditional way with this core hand wrapper here. This is a CRB product. You get these at Mudhole. And it's a really easy way to apply thread to a guide to hold it onto a rod. And if you were to take one of the Mudhole rod building classes, this is what you would learn on. And also the all-in-one rod building kits. What's going on, Crystal? How's everybody doing? Hope you are doing good today. Ohio, what's happening, Ohio? I hear the Bengals are playing today. 1v1 brothers. My day is going great, man. We got a lot of rain coming into on the eastern seaboard here in Florida, so kind of shut out the fishing a little bit today. Fish still bite when it's raining, but you know, why go out there and get wet when there's just so many really opportunities here in Florida. We're blessed to just be able to hear some rain now. You can hear it. And there it comes. A lot of big wind coming in too. We have some tropical storms heading out there. Daytona is just absolutely getting blasted right now. But when you're out there on a kayak, you got 25, 30 mile an hour sustained winds, and then rain hit you every once in a while. It just makes it a little difficult. But this morning I was able to get out with a rod myself. It was a Garcia Conilon, I should say a fly rod myself. It was a Garcia Conilon Companion, and probably from the late 80s, maybe the 90s, somewhere around there. I still don't know exactly the age of that thing, but it was fun to use. I absolutely do love fly fishing, something I never really did. I don't know much about it, to be honest with you, but I'll tell you one thing. If you have an old bamboo rod like this sitting around, and you're wondering what the value of that thing might be, you might want to take it off the wall or the shadow box or the corner in the garage in that box, wherever you got this thing packed, and you might want to take it, get that thing checked out, because there is some value to these, even if they are not in the best of shape. They don't have to be in the best of shape. The gentleman that dropped this off to me today, or not today, but about a week and a half ago, to work on these two H. Leonard bamboo rods, and he was just certainly happy about finding somebody that can apply the rods, do it the right way, and then all he is going to do is going to put them up on a mantle and show them off as a showpiece. Here's one of them, trying to match the thread up as best I can right there, and I think we hit it pretty good. You can see the somewhat red Merlot rings that they used. Boom. But yeah, there it is. Beautiful rods. Got that nice little cap on the end there. And there you go. There's the stamp. Beautiful. Cork is just in just absolute beautiful shape. I mean, this 90-year-old cork right there. It's amazing. You can see those trim bands, decorative bands they had. They had a most likely a hook keeper around here somewhere, but we're not going to put the hook keeper on. You can see those decorative bands. They run all the way up. And, you know, it wouldn't surprise me if those are measurements. Do I have a... I don't have one here. You know what I'm thinking. Wouldn't surprise me if those things are measurements. If you know anything about, if any of you guys know anything about these, you know, these fly rods, you know, fill me in. I want to learn as much as I can. So there you go. Boom. Now we're going to continue until we get enough of that fly guide foot on there, and it's trapped now. I can take the little tape off using just a little tiny tape there. I would prefer to be using like the guide tubing, which is nothing more than fish tube, like a filter tube. It's cut and then it's slid down onto the blank, and you can put the guide foot up underneath it to hold it onto the blank. But because this has ferrules at both ends, that's something we couldn't do. So just do it the old traditional way. Life has been good here in Florida. How's everything where you are at? Long Boy, what's up? No. I've been called John Boy. I've never been called Long Boy. I've been called Johnny Midnight, country music's best dressed road manager. I've been called Johnny Rebel. I've been called Johnny Come Lately a couple times. Johnny Rocket many a times. Johnny the Bicycle Messenger. A few things. Long Run Johnny. Crankbait Johnny. But never Long Boy. What is that in reference to? You've piqued my interest. Are you asking, is this a Long Boy rod? This is an H. Leonard fly rod from way back. So good thing to do when you are working with, see I got a Merlot red line here. This is a very primitive, very simple setup. It's not a $1,000 power wrapper. Do you need a $1,000 power wrapper? No, absolutely you don't. If you are going into production, high production, if you're pumping out 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 plus rods a week, yes, you need a power wrapper because you really want to be able to burn. This is your time right here, time consumed. You can knock everything out pretty much really easy. I mean, literally, it's fifth grade art. It's measuring, it's gluing, it's reaming out grips, corks, placing them on the blanks where you need to do it. Put the fighting butt on there, put the reel seat on there. It's all really basic stuff. But some talent does come, and this is where the speed is often slowed down, is when you come to tying your guides on, and that's where a power wrapper really comes in. But do you need a power wrapper? No. Again, this is the CRB core basic hand wrapper right here. I love it. I can bring it out to the garage. I can hang outside like this. I can go inside, watch Netflix, watch a Bengals game coming up on at 4:15. Guess where this thing's gonna be? Right in there watching, right? Life is good. Something like this only costs you like 35 bucks too. It's killer. Check it out at mudhole.com. Tell them Johnny sent you. So what I was saying, we got a red Merlot here, right? I don't want to get, when we start throwing tags around here and we got multiple ends of line, and you kind of get quick with the clippers here, you don't want to cut the wrong line. So I won't use a red Merlot pull through. I'll go with like something blue that has a little contrast to the color, and that way I know which one to cut. It's like de-arming a bomb. That's what it's like. Boom. Boom. So I'm going to pull it back through this way because that's the way that we were taking our thread. Look at it, the blue just stands out. Boom, right there, and continue, continue, continue. And that's how easy it is. You know, in the old days, they used to sit on the thread to add the tension to it. They'd have like like two wooden little blocks that had bead cuts in them. They would put the spool of thread in like a china cup or some type of drinking cup or something, a bowl, to keep it from rolling around on the ground. I'm going to cut that Merlot thread. I'm going to stick it down through that little blue loop right there. Get in there, baby. There you go, there you go, there you go. And then I'm going to grab these two that are blue. Make sure that's nice and tight. Make sure that's nice and tight. Boom. I'll go ahead and cut that down because I don't need to pull that much through. Just enough to make a little tag. Boom. And there we go. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And then I'll just cut that thread right there. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Look at that. Love it. There we go. And then we repeat on the other side. Hope everybody's doing really good today. Thanks, Crystal. If you're still up there and hanging out with us, I appreciate that. I'm not sure what you're saying I'm so good at. I'm sitting in my garage. I am pretty good at sitting in my garage. But thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. I really do. So we're going to repeat and go the other way, right? This is a rod or a thread tension rod right here. It's pretty simple. It's just a little plastic. It's almost like the end of a ice rod. Now we're going to take this one and we're going to start it right there. Again, it's just about the same width. What's cool about this build is that you can see where these old marks were, so it's pretty easy to line them up. I haven't had much issue at all about that. So I'm going to wrap that around there a few times. I'm going to take this tape. I'm going to try to, throughout the whole build, use the same piece of tape. That's my tag tape right there, and I put that right over here on one of the posts. And rather than going through this thing really quick by keep using a tag tape, a new one, just use that, challenge yourself, set it over to the other side, and you'll be surprised how long one of these will actually last you. When you use these up is when you're building up the arbors for the seats. So that's when you really go through some of that. But if you're working with thread, there's no need to be using a lot of tape. Now, oh, there you go. Got to hold it on there. Let's see what happens. If the tag tape's not doing its job, or you don't have it on there good enough, it'll loosen that up. So again, we're gonna put it up over the blank. I'm gonna wrap it around the opposite side I'm going, and then I'm gonna start wrapping it around the side that I'm going. And all this does is just secure and keep that line nice and tall. Now, there's so many people that do it so many different ways, and there's no wrong or right. Really, this is just the way that's really worked out for me. But I do need to scoot this down a little bit because I want that to start right up against that band. And this is where your pick tools come in. I wish I had better eyes. Now, once I got that rocking and rolling, I can pretty much start. Well, I don't want to go over myself though. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't, because you want to make sure that you don't overlap. Do that. Pack that up against that old band that they had. It's still there too. And then keep turning, just making sure we're not overlapping ourselves right there. How's our guide? Is our guide on there nice and straight? Is it still looking good? Just flare it up a little bit. Let me push that down there. See what kind of music we got on here. How about this one? Some old Black Keys. Don't hear too much of the Black Keys anymore. I haven't been listening to music much anymore, to be honest with you. But they had a cool kind of beat. They weren't Zeppelin. That's for sure. Not too many people wore Zeppelin. Well, there you go. Now I can certainly let this thing go. Whoop. That's good. Take it off. Little things like this is what you really take you like you're out of your sync. You're just kind of buzzing along. You're having a great time, and you're just kind of grooving, and you're doing your stuff. And for instance, I would be working on this, relatively, rare bamboo rod, and something like that. The tape just doesn't want to cooperate. So then I take something sharp up there to cut the tape off, and I end up marking up this rod. Don't want that to happen, so a little extra precaution you do want to take, that's for sure, because those things will absolutely jump out at you and do you wrong. Now I got that thread built up on that foot right there of that fly guide, about halfway. What are we going to do now? We're going to look for our blue pull through. Why am I using blue? No reason in particular, other than it's a different color than what we are using as a main thread on our guide, and I don't want to cut the wrong one by mistake. It's Mission Impossible here, man. I'm gonna just run that up, continue. I'm gonna have to pack this up a little bit. Pack that up. Keep up, over on myself there. So just lift that up, keep it tight, lift it up, and manually just place that down there on the right side of the thread. That almost sounds like a great book. The right side of the thread. I wouldn't be writing it. I don't know nothing. I'm gonna cut this thing down a little bit. It's easy. It may be one of those things you're like, oh my God, I wish I could do that. I'm telling you, you can do it. If you pass 5th grade art, you can do this. Right there. So boom, I'm taking some, I got my finger on that, right? I'm gonna cut that right there. I got a nice pretty blue loop up here. I'm gonna put this thread right through there. There we go, pull that right there, pull that back a little bit, and I can just pull that all the way through. Let's see what other type of music we have going on, man. Oh. Yes.
There's a man going around taking names.
Wow. It's a powerful song. Johnny Cash was an amazing man.
There'll be a golden ladder reaching down when the man comes around.
When the man comes around. Wow. Wow.
The hairs on your arm will stand up.
The hairs on your arm will stand up.
In each sip and in each sup. Will you partake of that last offered cup? Or disappear into the potter's ground?
Wow, into the potter's ground when the man comes around. Look at that. So that's all we needed to do right there. Now we're going to put some rod finish, or not rod finish, I'm sorry, rod varnish on that, just like they did in the old days. So they didn't use the 2-part rod finish like that. That is popular today. That's what your rods are done with today, this 2-part mixie. This is a Pro Coat product from Mudhole. You can check that out. But back then they used rod varnish. So that's what we're gonna wait and do with this one. So boom, now all we have to do is rinse and repeat. You know how Johnny Cash got his name, the Man in Black? That wasn't by design, and that wasn't by his choice. There was a young courtier is the word I think I want to use in Hollywood that worked under a man by the name of Nudie Khan. Nudie was a tailor from New York who made his living by making dance girl pasties and outfits. And B-movie Hollywood, cowboys were starting to become really big. Nudie Khan makes his way to California, Southern California. He starts making outfits for all of the cowboys. They all went to Nudie Khan to have their rhinestone outfits, their special type of outfits from Hopalong Cassidy, Roy Rogers, I mean, all the greats, Gene Autry, they all went to Nudie Khan. As some of the younger artists started to come around, Nudie most likely found himself quite busy. So boom, from across the border came a man by the name of Manuel Cuevas. And Manuel Cuevas was a young and talented tailor. I mean, very colorful. Used a lot of different types of designs, ponchos, big hats, all of that kind of stuff. One of Manuel's very first clients was this young man by the name of Johnny Cash that was outside of Memphis, Tennessee, that was making his name. And Johnny Cash wanted to present himself just like everybody else was, with what everybody else did, from Webb Pierce to Farron Young to Buck Owens, the Buckaroos, to George Jones, to all those guys. They wore those rhinestone outfits, so Johnny Cash just assumed that he should have one too. So he went to Manuel. Manuel looked him over. They got to know each other. Manuel heard his music. Manuel already had the man sized up, probably 5 minutes within walking into the door. He knew what he was going to do with this guy. The amazing talent of Manuel was yet to be seen by the world. About a week later, Johnny Cash comes back to the headquarters, the offices where they made their outfits in California. And Manuel pulled out all black outfits. And Johnny Cash was like, whoa, this is not what I was expected. I would look like a preacher in that. And Manuel looked at him and says, you are. You are the man in black. The rest is history. Oh my Lord, have mercy. That ain't no joke. We need to, and here's a song about that right here. The rest is history, man. You know the poncho that Clint Eastwood wears in The Good and the Bad and the Ugly? Manuel Cuevas on the set took that off of him himself. It's his poncho. He says, here, Clint, put this thing on. This will draw a mean, ugly look to that sidearm you got. He designed the hat. I mean, Dwight Yoakam certainly is an amazing talent, but I'm not sure if Dwight Yoakam would have been Dwight Yoakam without Manuel Cuevas, who made Dwight Yoakam look like Dwight Yoakam does. You know, Marty Stewart has over like 300 or 400 Manuel outfits. Isn't that amazing? A little, maybe useless information, but someday it might come in handy in a trivia. Let's continue with the rod build. I actually have a shirt made by Manuel that he made for me. And it's got over 1,000 Aurora Borealis rhinestones on it. It is amazing. When you put it on, it's got weight to it. It was amazing. So boom, we're gonna take this one right here, and all we're gonna do is with that tape, put it right where it should be and right where it was when. Now these are new guides. I'm not using the old guides, which are just not around, you might say. We do have a few of them left, right there, but not enough of them, that's for sure. So what's going on, everybody? What you guys got going on? Boom. Hey, big head, what's up? You got some big fingers. I think you're missing a few things there. Check back in. Thanks for hanging out. I really appreciate it, man. Is there any fly rod guys out there? Gals? I bet female just make amazing fly. Check out Fishy. Check out Fishy Wear. Out of Alaska. Those ladies can fish for some trout salmon. They're amazing. So here we go. We're just gonna opposite again, and then now we're gonna go to the side that, whoop. Sitting out here in the garage and listening to some birds like that after a big rain. We just had a big rain. It was a heavy one, like they said. We're gonna have a few more of those, so boom, there's my tag tape. We're gonna continue using that. Don't let me down. I think Yellow once said that. Then I'm gonna turn that a few times and just capture that tag right there. Whoop, we don't need to capture that end of it. Pull that on out. Boom, we can let go of the tag tape, put that over there. We have a while to complete this job. I told the gentleman that I was gonna take my time and I'm not gonna rush it. This is just one of those things that, you know, you want to look good when you bring it back. So if you've ever thought about doing anything like rod building, if you're in a fishing community, or there's a lot of it going on, you have friends that fish, and you know there's places all around, you have a lot of water, whether it's salt or fresh, rod repair can do really well for yourself as a little side hustle. I need a new, what happened to my blue tag? I tried to use the same one there too. There it is. The wind must have blew it. Okay, we got to put it this way. So a little round loop that I make from the blue. It's going to go right there. We're going to continue turning. I'm going to turn up to where they had this, and boom, there it is right there. So now I got to press that right on top of that blue little loop. Get that away from the tape. Boom, that's good. I'm going to loosen up the tension rod with the thread. I'm going to take the Merlot thread down through the blue loop. Pull that back a little bit. Make sure you pull them both those at the same time. I'm gonna make sure this is nice and taut, and that tightens up the thread there, and then you can go ahead and pull that through, and that should look nice. Boom. I'm gonna pull, I don't wanna pull the thread this way. I'm gonna lean it back this way against the blade, and boom, right there. There we go. Are we packed? We're looking good already. Boom. Now just do the other side. There you go. There's not too much to it, guys. I'm telling you. So there you go. Just a little, you know, wrapping threads on some old fly guides. Well, actually, these are new fly guides on a very old rod. This is an H. Leonard bamboo fly rod, and it's been a real treat and pleasure to do it. So boom, there you go. I'm gonna get off here. Hope everything is good. Love you guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. Bengals are gonna be playing soon. I have to root for the Bengals because she loves the Bengals. She loves the Bengals, and she gets so upset when they lose, and it just goes downhill from there, man. So I'm root for the Bengals. Please hit that subscribe button and root for the Bengals. Love you guys. John Graves Kayak Fishing, over and out.